I don't worry about that. I was very friendly in the principal's office. And mine wasn't the principal's office. It was the dean. It was Webster. Me and him were like this. I'd get sent there from Miss Lysette.
Oh, Lysette was my friend.
And I used to run Webster after school.
Who was Lysette's husband?
She didn't get married till later in life.
To who?
Some guy. I just seen her in J.C. Penney's last year. Some older guy. He seems all right.
So who was
You're talking about
the drama teacher, Sandoval? Who was he
Sandoval.
married to?
He was married to the English teacher.
That's the one.
But
I thought that was Lysette.
No,
But she became principal,
No.
the English teacher.
No, she was history and she was social. She was your guidance teacher.
No, I had Mrs. Hill.
Well, I had Miss Lysette. She was everybody's guidance.
If you
For
have
one grade.
if you couldn't tell, I'm not going to get 3 words in. I can't even start the
Well, you
podcast.
can't remember who was who.
It was a tough time for me, Rob. It was a
Me
tough
too.
time.
Whatever you did, I did triple. But I just ran.
Welcome to 2019. First podcast of the year, and I have with me one of my oldest friends, Mr. Robert White. Good morning, Rob White.
Good morning,
We're on the
Mike
Dawn Patrol podcast. There's only 6 listeners. One's in Jerusalem, one's in Montana. The other 3 are in Turlock. And Roger Decker. Now, we have a lot of guys that love to plug in, hear about what's going on in Dawn Patrol. Don't get nervous. We're going to go flashback into some times. We're going to get just reacquainted with each other. And a little Hayward High trivia. We met, I was going to Bret Hart. We met the summer before I went to Bret Hart.
True that.
Between 7th and 8th grade, I was leaving Strawbridge. What do you mean true that? What are you going to stamp everything I say, whether it's true or false? Like true that? Like everything I say, it's all true. It's all exaggerated.
Well, there's a little bit that's kind of.
Like what? Like what?
Let's as we go, I'll say, hey, that's a stretchy.
Real a stretchy? Remember this?
Yes, I do.
We used to clean Scotty Q's house to this song.
Yep.
This whole album.
Painted his house after he.
I never painted his house.
He got paint all over his mom's couch.
I would have never painted that house. It was slave labor. He was running his own little concentration camp there.
The other night, I was watching, not to get off subject, and I think you were there, in and out, because you would just do your own thing. But it was the New Year's, waiting for the ball.
We were there?
No, this is my story here.
Oh.
So all of a sudden, I'm flashing back with the New Year's that just came up, and all of a sudden they start playing Prince, 1999, and I go to myself, here, it's me, it's Tony Silva, it's Scotty. I know you were in and out. I was waiting for my girl, Dana, to come by.
Dana.
Yeah, and so I was waiting, and they're playing that, and I'm doing a flashback on the song. I'm thinking, boy, I said, look at me now. And we're over at Scotty's. Me and Tony were dancing.
Was it New Year's Eve?
No, it was New Year's Eve, and we're barbecuing stuff. Oh, Kai Bird came by.
Okay.
And we're also doing some barbecuing in the back.
I remember that.
We're dancing to 1999, and this was 1982, the summer, and we're laughing. We're like,
So I had just graduated. I don't know that I was there.
no. So we were laughing at this 1992 going.
Or 99 and 82 going.
Yeah,
what
and
are we
82.
thinking about? Now it's 2018.
Yeah, it's like, what are you gonna? How is it gonna be? What are you gonna? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This guy's singing this song, but we're digging it, and we're liking it, and it's like, wow, I could still remember everybody. Just
What was your first? My first concert was with Tony Silva, Earth, Wind and Fire. That's why I played that song, and Betty Hughes. Scott didn't want to go. No, Kenny Bocage didn't go. I went in place of Kenny. Scott, me,
Yeah,
and Betty went, and that's where Scott met Tony.
Mm-hmm.
She was like 5 rows ahead of us. Our back was against the stadium wall. Against the stadium wall. And then,
all original players. I
Yep.
seen them.
yep.
seen
Hey,
him. First concert, you asked me?
yeah.
Oh man, there were so.
I saw
many.
Prince at the Cow Palace and at the Berkeley Square when there was only like 100 of us in there.
I guess it's
Pre-album.
always going to be a one-up. I seen Prince, and then I seen the first was Queen,
Where?
Oakland Coliseum, Ronnie Travis.
Day on the Green?
No Day on the Green.
No, just a Queen
It
concert.
was a Queen concert.
Daytime or night?
It was a nighttime.
With
and
Ronnie Travis.
Ronnie Travis. And his mother, Laura, she didn't want to trust Rob White. He's
That's a good smart
AKA,
woman. Smart woman.
Eddie, what was that? Eddie Hassel.
One question, and then we're going to move into something that matters. Did you see the new Queen movie?
No, I'm going to miss it. I've seen Michael
I don't wanna see
Jackson
it.
in L.A.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
It's good.
I don't want to see it.
It won all the awards at the Golden Globes.
I don't care about the awards. I just know that I lived through the Queen era, and I saw what happened. I don't want Hollywood to tell me what happened.
Now, gentleman does a good job
I heard he does a great
with
job.
the false teeth and
The
everything.
teeth and the whole thing, and I love. But Queen was the part of our. It was Queen, Earth, the funk scene, the rock scene, Pink Floyd, AC/DC, Marvin Gaye, Earth, Wind and Fire, pre-Serpentine Fire, all of that stuff, dude. It was just a great time.
Teddy Vendor.
And how many so Queen, amazing show. I saw him. I think at the Day on the Green. I think it was a Day on the Green. I went to all those concerts. Remember the
I
record?
went to quite a bit.
Where you get the concerts, the tickets at the on Mission. What was it called?
Oh boy, that place.
Something
down-
record.
Yeah,
Warehouse.
Warehouse
No,
record.
no.
Warehouse record.
Tower
record.
Records. Hey, we met 7th and 8th grade. We got you fired from the little gas station job there
That's over 40 years ago.
40 years ago. Got you fired at the gas station there was there at Trader Joe's.
That's right.
And
Marshall's,
Yep.
Chevron station with a bow tie.
You grew up
working.
Grew up you love your mom. Grandma and mom raised you, and how many brothers?
There's 5 other brothers. I'm sick, and there's one sister.
Okay. Wow. Talk about the house of Jacob.
Teeny home.
Teeny home on B Street.
Yeah, we doubled up, and we more than
Tripled
doubled up. Yeah.
Yeah. Irish family?
It's a mixture. The grandparents and my mom and them are originally from Nebraska. They took 2 trips to get over here to California.
I see Nebraska all over you.
Yeah, it was
You're
Nebraska.
a total Nebraska kid. What are you doing out here in California?
Well, hey, born in Oakland, Oakland Hospital,
Oak Knoll.
Navy Hospital. It's tore down.
And so we don't want to get into the whole thing, but I struggled with my dad at home. That's when we met in the parking lot behind Trader Joe's, or that whole corner is where
Right.
we really met. You were in my neck of the woods.
Right.
And you grew up not knowing your dad, working, surviving, bringing home cheddar for the family, as all you guys did.
Oh yeah, very young.
Yeah. And you took a path much like my path, where we was godless and very much people of our culture. We lived by the rules that were laid out in front of us, whether it be through school or through the professional world or through culture, and we did the best we could. I think in the end, we weren't bad dudes. We were just living as culture had taught us, because we were untaught individuals that grew up in the street. Would that be accurate, or would that be stretching it, Rob?
You're not stretching it yet.
Okay.
You're pretty there.
Okay. And so then we go our separate ways, right? Because at 21, I fall in love with my woman, my first wife, Kathleen Campbell. Still my wife, 31 years now. We're celebrating. I just don't want to make the kiddies at home nervous. And she introduces me to this thing called God, the Creator, Jesus. And so then I remember having a little time with you and Scotty on his boat, crazy boat up at Shasta, and we were floating, and it was hot, and I said, I got to break up with you guys. Got to break up with you guys. You guys aren't going to go the direction I want to go. I didn't judge you, but I just knew that you guys weren't going to be good for me. And how right?
That was more watermelon vodka for us, because we had a couple watermelons with vodka. So I was like, hey,
remember all that.
that's more for us than.
Yeah. So you guys kicked me to the curb.
We didn't do that.
No, you didn't do
that. Was your decision.
That was my decision. But I didn't kick you guys to the curb either. I just said, I'm just going to be
Yeah,
going a different
no,
route.
that was like, hey.
Yeah, whatever. And you never judged me.
No.
But
We missed you.
no, you didn't.
We missed you.
You guys were wild. You couldn't even tell I wasn't there.
Kai Bird just called me this weekend. Hook up with him.
Kai Bird?
In Emeryville
He's walking with
for
the
dinner.
Lord.
Very much
When
so.
did he come to the Lord?
He's been to the Lord quite a bit. I'd say he's got 20 years plus, probably.
I remember I saw him somewhere. Maybe it was at a memorial. Maybe it was Betty Cuse's memorial.
Betty Hughes Memorial. Absolutely.
I remember. That's where I re-engaged all you guys.
And that's where
That's where me and you got back.
we took a little place off, a spot off when we went back to Scotty's house, and I had some talk with you and
Yep.
said, hey,
Yep.
I like what you have, and I liked it. But then it took me a little bit more time,
Yep.
some years. But I was like, you gave me cards and stuff. And
Yep.
I think he even called me a couple times.
Called you.
But I always had some excuse going
You
on.
got a good excuse. You got an excuse file. Where are you holding all them?
I know my grandmother used to say that, Rob. Can't say what she said, but she used to say it. Something. But I like what you had, and it was just.
It was this.
I was like kind of envious, kind of that. You had this going on and that, and me, I was still making my own rules and trying to say, hey, I know what it's going to be, but it just, Every time I got to a certain point of it, it was crumbling down.
Then I'm driving to Shasta to speak at Tyler Scott's high school summer camp. And you, on the way up there, finally on the phone, said, I want to trust Jesus. I remember, I'll never forget that conversation. I'll never forget, I was driving by the Birkenstock plant.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, you drive by the Birkenstock factory on the way up to Shasta. And my buddy Rob White says, you know what, I'm going to try to go the way of the Lord. And that was how many years, 6, 8 years ago? 7?
No.
6, 5?
Maybe 4, 5, probably 6, Mark. Probably 6.
And in that time, it has been such a joy for me to watch you authentically. You think you're not doing so good, but I watch you authentically wrestling with who God is, living a new life, putting the old life behind, and what that really looks like. And out of all the crazy stuff and all the stuff that I've seen you go through and watch you do, and we know each other pretty darn good, it's, you never know what you mean to me because of late in life. You have the common sense to wrestle with God and to figure out how to apply His word to your life without sacrificing your authenticity. You don't become a hypocrite. You're not drinking Kool-Aid. And I just love that. And I just appreciate that about you, Rob. I want you to know that. I've never heard him speechless ever in my entire life.
No, Mark, I know you do that, but you know what? Sometimes I it's not sometimes. I still have, my issues. So it's,
Well, we all do.
so
what's now? I mean, you don't have to bare your soul, but what are we dealing with now?
just, between the operations and them being in the pain and stuff like that, it just, it's overpowering to me to the fact is that I've had so many so quick.
Mm-hmm.
Knee twice in a year.
Yep.
And then the first didn't take, and now I got a replacement and kind of giving up on it. I got to get back in that gym to really move
Discouraged.
Yeah, I'm the kind.
Discouraging.
Yeah, I'm the kind of individual. Like my mom says, I have to be working. I'm a working bee, and if I don't, my psyche it falls apart, and it just. I'm trying to get to the end of retirement, but at the same time, I'm gonna have to still work, find something else, but. I'm going to work as long as I can, but yeah, it just, I don't lead a healthy life if I don't have something to go to and do and work on and stuff. But this knee is, I'm not making it so much an excuse, but it is an excuse, the pain and stuff. And then when you get into all the intricacies of maybe the pain pills, then you start backsliding, thinking maybe you could have a pop or two, and he's like, "Dang, I don't feel my knee now," So that's not good.
Not good.
But
takes you to a dark place.
I can work out now on it because I can't. You know what I mean?
Which is not the best thing.
No.
It's a slide. It's a downward slide.
And so I have to have something. Like this morning, today was have to have something. Have to get up and come here.
I'm glad. I'm really glad
to see these faces and to hear something. And get something going. I mean, last couple of weeks I've been up here for the transition of Pastor Larry moving on, and I've been the last 3, and I like their round table thing.
That's good.
And then I like last week. It was very nice.
Yeah. What service did you go to?
I go to the last one.
Last one.
11. So, but I seen the last 3, and it was like I could. Been really bad, I'm just getting over stuff, and the knees hurt, and it's raining. I could go on and on with excuses. I'm hurting.
Yeah.
Getting that truck.
Yeah.
The last one, I drove around this parking lot because I was late 4 times. Down below was nothing. Down everywhere, people were coming up from Wendy's and stuff in the rain with umbrellas.
Really?
It was that packed at the 11 o'clock one.
Really?
It was packed, but for some reason, after the 4-turn trip around the back, I got a spot. So, and then I came in. It was like, you had to come in. And so, but that's,
It takes a lot for a guy to get out of bed. And thanks for being so honest. And I'm really encouraged to see you. And that's why we're here. That's why the community gathers, is to encourage each other and to remind each other that God sees us and has a way through whatever wilderness we're walking through, whatever season we're in. And so that's what I mean by you're a smart dude and you're an authentic dude and you're wrestling. And I'm just glad to wrestle with you. And I'm thank you for being honest. And I don't want to, have you silent anymore. And I don't want to ask you a question that's going to make you pause or make you uncomfortable to answer because, we got people listening. But what now? So it's Wednesday. It's 8. now you're going back into, your life. And I'm asking you this because there's guys wrestling with the same dang thing right now that maybe aren't so honest. What do you do now, today, at 10, at 1, at 3, concerning your faith, concerning your walk with the Lord?
I'll go back to where I'm staying, and I'll pop up on the books.
Yep.
And I've been doing that lately. Been giving it an hour or so. No big time, but about that.
Yeah.
I got a couple of things, and I'll just
Are you
go
writing
through.
journal?
You know what? I didn't pick it up.
Yep.
I had it. I started writing in a tablet, but the one that we purchased years ago, I didn't begin that.
Yep.
And that weighs on me too, that journal writing.
You got it? You got the journal still?
Yeah, I have it. It's in a box over in Santa
So
Clara.
it's in a box, so you can't get to it. So we'll get you one other one.
No,
I think it's really.
But I'll write on a tablet, but I really don't think
No.
it's not. You know what I mean? I have a tablet that I've been writing down, but it's not.
What's a tablet? Like a
a tablet? You know what I mean?
like an iPad?
No,
No.
paper and pen.
paper pen.
Yeah. But it's not, genuine.
I'm telling you, something happens to the heart of and soul of a man. If I can be your friend, and when you pause and you do what you just said, open the books, get into the Word, talk to the Father. But then when you process it, when you stop, and especially you and me are the same kind of people, when you can kind of funnel what you feel like the Lord is whispering into your soul, you have a nice outlet to cry, to talk, to ask, to process, and it's a powerful thing. I'm gonna tell you, that's why I gave you that notebook. It's a powerful exercise.
Well, and I also figured too that I've been offered, because there's a good group of men around here.
Yeah, there is.
And that's what I hit on this right here. Is a different individuality and stuff. And I actually, you know what? It wouldn't be a bad idea to switch a table every other time you're here.
Yep.
Because you stay in the same thing,
Yep.
I've always stayed just to get with
Move around.
Move.
It's got a lot, everybody's got great stories,
Right.
and they're great men.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I like my buddy Randy. So
He's a good man.
He calls me and texts me, but I think it's about time for me to
Spread
maybe
your wings.
jump in a group.
A
Jump in a
Timothy
group.
group.
I mean, he's invited me. I don't know how many times.
love
There's a couple other gentlemen that's invited me to groups, but it's just like, I'll find this or that. But I always didn't jump on that for the fact is like my knowledge is not there. But it's like, why does it have to be full of knowledge when you have these people that are, I would say, stewardship? These people have, you know what I mean? Some
That's a false,
legally.
yeah. We always think that we got to know more than the other guy. Come on.
Right. I'm impressed with JP.
Yeah.
I mean,
And if
I
JP
remember when he, and I was a little bit before him, and I was like, wow. And he's really impressed me with with himself and stuff like that.
Yeah, and he brought his little table today, full table. Good to see the twins back with us.
So I like to do that.
Yeah.
That'd be the next thing. Don't talk about it, do it. Hit the journal. I have to fill myself more with that. If not,
Yep.
then I'm writing on a tight line. So I mean,
That's good. You know what to do.
Yeah.
What's it going to take to do it?
do it. Just do it.
All right.
Don't
if
talk
you have
about it.
Rob White's phone number at home, listening in the car, I'm not going to give nobody new your number. I'm saying if you are listening to this podcast and you have his number, remind him. Just do it. And you're wearing Puma. You need to go get some Nike garb. Just do it.
At this point in my life, I used to match everything up. It don't have to be matched up anymore.
Clearly.
I have
Clearly.
closets full of clothes.
Your fashion
and
statements
shoes.
in the last 2 years
No.
have been disastrous. You're like
need to
you're waiting to not do the
I need to
flannel.
concentrate on my soul.
You need
I need to concentrate on my mind and better myself and kicking this guy off my shoulder. Starts with an S. He
Yeah.
doesn't care what
Yeah,
I
he
wear.
owned you for a long time.
He's got me. He has my
no,
number.
he doesn't have you.
He's got my number
He's
right
got
now.
your number, but he doesn't own you.
So
That's the big deal I want you to
he
understand.
doesn't care what I wear, but
No. Or what happens to your life.
no.
You know that.
He gets a jolly. So
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Guys that come from the world are very in tune when Satan's pulling the
oh, he was pulling it in there.
yeah. What was he how? What did it look like?
He pulls in there.
Discourage or how? Give me an example.
There's all kinds of ways in there. He pulls on me. He's going through my head and he's telling me stuff that I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
I'm in the house of the Lord. I'm around good people here.
Yeah. Shut up.
Don't get out of here.
Yeah. Good
Same
for
thing
you.
if I'm going to church.
Yep.
You have something coming through.
Yep. Yep.
But that's what's happened.
Yep.
When we were young, we partied and did stuff too.
Yep.
We didn't listen to him before.
Yeah,
we
we
just
did.
acted upon
We
it.
owned it. He owned us.
Yeah.
Didn't even need to hear him. He owned
Right.
us. Hey, there's something called I'm doing this year. It's called the hour of enthusiasm. You know
Right.
this whole thing called a quiet time. You open a book, get into the Word, open the Bible, maybe journal, and it's called quiet time. And I hate quiet. I'm not the guy that thrives on quiet. You know, I like to rest, but I don't like quiet. I just learned, and I was reminded. I didn't just learn it, that the word enthusiasm means filled with God. Enthusiastic person, early English word, it was used to describe a guy that was filled with God. Enthusiastic, enthusiasm. And so that's when we pause and we open a word and we start to talk to the Father and we get a little pen out and we start to consider what He has for us this day. We're actually entering into a time of being filled by the Spirit of God. And it's so in men's ministry, there's no more quiet time. It's called the hour of enthusiasm or the time of enthusiasm, because the point is to be filled with the Spirit of God, which means to yield to the Spirit that's already within you. Pause, go His way. Mm-hmm. Go His way, especially when you're in a time like you are right now, Rob. Medically, emotionally, spiritually, physically. I hope that you have an enthusiastic year where you're filled with the Holy Spirit, which means yielding to how He wants this year to unfold.
You get those like juice feelings every once in a while. It's like, hey, this is feeling right. I get those every once, just not enough. Mm-hmm. But it's like, wow, I don't know where it's going, but
what'd you hear
this
today?
Feeling's good.
Dawn Patrol, what'd you hear? Came, you were with great guys. What did you hear from the Lord?
Well, I mean, just to start off with, the gentleman with 50 years.
50 years of marriage.
That's impressive, because me here at 55, you know my story. Mm-hmm. I raised some kids, never been married, 2 sets, 2 relationships, but long terms. But I was like, man, I just think I'm already thinking negative. I'd never be with somebody 50 years because of my age and stuff. But you don't have to be like that. You could start now. Mm-hmm. You know, but I'd like to clean up myself and get it right. Mm-hmm. I'd like to have myself straight. Mm-hmm. I'd go on that. So what I heard about that gentleman, good deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was nice. Seeing JP, good thing.
Yeah.
You know, listen to the story. Jacob, you know, I mean.
Jacob's a good man.
Yeah. You know, and then his son, not so, but.
Yeah.
Hey.
I relate to his upbringing.
Yes, exactly.
You know, I relate to that. Even though he had a dad at home that loved him very much.
Right.
Didn't work out so well for him. Mm-hmm. The chiseler. Jacob's my Old Testament guy. I think you're Jacob too.
You think so?
Yep.
I've read through that.
Yep. And you know,
Jacob, not through it. I've read through it a couple times.
You know, he walked with a limp. You know that?
No.
Yeah, because the Lord wrestled with him all night long. We're going to tell that story. And the kiddies at home, he wrestles with the angel all night long, and he wants a blessing. The angel said, let me go. And he says, I'm not going to let you go until you tell me who you are. The angel of the Lord, Jesus incarnate. I'm not going to let you go until you tell me until you bless me. He says, what's your name? Lord knows his name, but he wanted him to say it. Because the last time he was asked that question, his dad Isaac asked him, what's your name, son? I'll bless you. And he said, I am Esau. He lied. And so the Lord brings him right back to his darkest hour. He says, what's your name? And he says, I am Jacob. I'm a chiseler. I'm a deceiver. I'm a swindler. And the Lord says, now we're cooking with gas. And change your name to Israel, which means ones that wrestle with God, or other different interpretations. But I'm changing your name because I'm changing your character. Now, when you're real with who you are, which is why I like my friend Rob White, you're very honest and real with where you are. This is where I'm at. I am Jacob. And he says, now I'm going to change your name to Israel. And he broke his hip, put it out of socket, and said, now you're going to walk with a limp to remember this moment for the rest of your life. And so that's you. That's me. And you just told yourself a lie. You said, I want to clean myself up so I can start that kind of life. And I think that's the enemy. I think we all have the opportunity to start right now. Unclean, limping. Jacob tried for 28 years to clean his life up, make himself presentable, work his way through his swindling, working for his father-in-law Laban. Hustled his entire life. Hustled. God said, relax. God said, relax. Get real. Wrestle with me. Limp around a little bit. Yeah. Trip on that. Put that in your pipe and smoke that tonight.
Yeah.
No?
We're not doing no pipe. He ain't doing no pipes.
Rob, closing thoughts. Closing anything.
Well, this wasn't as painful as I thought it was going to be.
The podcast?
Yeah.
So you behaved yourself.
Oh, well, I held back. There could be
big
many
time.
parts of this series. We could make a mini series out of this.
I think we're going to.
You know what I'm saying? We could,
What would you call it? What would you call it? Mini series.
mini series?
Yeah.
Ooh.
With Mark and Rob.
It's
What would you call it? I call it The Boys.
The Boys.
Boys. It's
Okay.
another day with the boys. Hey, Rob, let's make a little podcast, Rob. What do you think? Call it The Boys.
Around
Guys
the-
wrestling through life, limping through life together, Robbie. Come on, Robbie.
I'll meet you around the corner.
How many times you said that?
All of you guys.
Rob, I love you. I'm glad you're in our community. I hope you get into a group or two. I hope you start writing in your journal, but you don't have to do none of that because I want you to know that God sees you and loves you right now, limping around the way you are.
Oh, I know that.
There's nothing you can do to impress him. I know you know it in your head, but I'd love for this to be a year where you start to wake up every morning and know it in your soul,
Okay.
because that's a different picture for guys that weren't close to their fathers. To be able to
How
wake
about
up.
just not wake up? How about go to bed knowing it too?
How about that?
Let's have it all. Can I
like that.
Can I be greedy?
You can.
I want it when I go down, lay down. I want it when I wake up, and then follow me through the day.
That's a great prayer. Love you, Robert White. We
Back
just
at
didn't
you.
even touch the tip of the iceberg.
Well, we have a lot
We'll save it for the boys.
around the corner. Good deal, Mark. Love you too, brother. That's what brought me up into here. But then again, I think it was the Lord that brought me up into here.
Yep. Yep. I'm trying to end this thing, and you keep talking.
I just seem like a familiar face. Do your thing, Marky Mark.
I love you, Rob.